We are back. I'll just tilt this. All right, let's get this show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, awesome people of all ages. Welcome to episode 154 of the Train Smooth podcast. My name is Tim Egg, and if you guys have any training, racing, or nutrition questions, feel free to shoot me through an email, tim@trainsmooth.com, or jump on the website, trainsmooth.com. So today's question comes from Jupe. That's a great name. I am from a non-swimming background. I swim 3 times a week with a stroke rate of around 60 SPM, strokes per minute. I am a front quadrant swimmer. I average around a minute 55 per 100 meters. What would you recommend I should do to get better? So, for those who are just thinking, what's a front quadrant swimmer? So basically that is just before your one hand is out straight, as your hand's coming through to recovery, just before it hits the water, then you start the catch phase. So most swimmers swim like that. That's your general proper way of swimming. If I did a horrible job of explaining that, jump into your little Google machine or YouTube machine and type in Pete Jacobs swim rhythm. And he does a spectacular job of explaining what swim rhythm is. So when most people, when they have no idea how to swim, they jump in the water, they start swinging their arms. They're like a windmill. And you need to create that rhythm. So that's where the front quadrant technique comes into it. It's actually quite an important little thing. Now, I've heard some coaches talk about, especially it's not the best swim rate, swim strokes per minute, but it's definitely not the worst. It's not too bad. It's about what you'd expect it to be for that, about that pace. But you will have some saying you're probably best to switch to more of a windmill. I probably wouldn't say I agree with that unless I saw the swimmer and explored other options first. But that's just my little opinion on it. So my biggest thing would be, my recommendations first up is just get someone to have a look at your swim stroke straight off the bat. Make sure there is no technique issues that can be fixed. So you want to get your technique good enough so you can start focusing on speed and power from there on in. So I would say, looking at your swim rate, not knowing a hell of a lot here, I'm just looking at these two numbers. 60 strokes per minute you're doing. You're averaging a minute 55 per 100 meters. So I'd probably bring you down to doing a whole lot of 25 meter sets, maybe doing 25s, leaving every 30 seconds. Do 20 of them, have a rest, do another lot of 20 of them, then bring you up to 10 lots of 50, leaving every minute. You do a heap of them per swim session, and then maybe do another swim session doing those same times with pull, paddle. Maybe occasionally type your ankles occasionally. But my biggest thing I would probably look at most of all is technique. Let's have another look at technique. I've said it in a couple of episodes. You don't need to get a swim instructor if you can't afford it. Not everyone has that. And some people haven't got that availability they just haven't got the resources. So a little hack you can do is go up to just the swimming pool you're going to, is have a little look at the lifeguards and have a talk with them. See if they know what triathlete swimming is all about, and especially if you know someone who does triathlons, talk to them. You say, can you just have a look at my swim stroke, and just from time to time squat down, give me some feedback, and help me along the way. You just want to pick the one lifeguard to do this to. You don't want to be asking them all, because you're going to have about 30 different opinions. So just pick the one, ask him for his opinion, and then and just buy him a case of beer or something like that. Ask him what he drinks. Most of them will do it for free, because a lot of those jobs are boring as bat crap. So they're just going to be super grateful to actually fill in 20 minutes of their time just watching. They'll be looking around, checking what everyone else is doing, but they'll look at your swim stroke. And these guys spend most of their day looking and analysing everyone's swim stroke. They just don't squat down and go, you know what you're doing there, you're crossing over and you really need to lift that elbow up in the catch, and what you're doing over there, and maybe you should go from high elbow recovery into more of a swing. They're analysing this stuff in their heads all day. Heck, I do it when I'm swimming. I'm looking at a person swimming 2 lanes over me and I'm going, my God, what is that person doing? I can fix them up straight away. And every now and again I say, you should do this, you should do that. But generally I keep my mouth shut. But I'm digressing slightly there. So look at your technique, then go into your swim session. So I'd probably spend... Now, what you're trying to do, you're on a 3-year, maybe 5-year program. So you're looking so far ahead. So I'd be spending a good 6 to 12 months focusing on, so I'll give you a swim set you can play around with this as you go. Warm up, maybe 500 meters. So it's a 2K swim set, 500 meter warm up. Then you do 20 times 25 meters, leaving every 30 seconds. Then you have 40 seconds rest, minute rest if you need it. Then you're doing 10 50 meters, leaving every 1 minute. And then you have another rest. And then you finish it off with 5 100s, with 3 of them definitely going at it. And you want to be leaving every 2 minutes. So if you're averaging a minute 55, you're only going to get around 5 seconds rest. But what you're probably going to find is that work you've been putting in on that first lot of 25 meters and 50 meters, you're probably going to find you're getting a good cadence quality, getting a little bit better. You might find that you're getting out a little bit faster. I'd be looking at doing those sort of sets, manipulating them around a little bit for at least, if you play around with it for 6 months, maybe a little bit more. Change the distance. One thing you can do, they say, what's more important? What should you be doing? Focusing on swimming faster in training or increasing volume? Do both. You'll be as sound as a pan if you do both. Going there 3 times a week, that's really good. I'd also be looking at core strength. That also helps. It's going to help you greatly on running, but it's going to help you a little bit in the swim as well. Just trying to stay streamlined. I heard this guy once say when he swims, he visualizes he's in this tiny little pipe, and he's trying to stay as flat or as aerodynamic as possible. And let's face it, swimming is just like cycling in a way. It becomes all comes down to aerodynamics into the water. You don't want to create any more drag than really needed. So he visualizes that, and we said once he started visualizing that, things became real quick, real sharp. I also would look at doing maybe some drills in your warm-up. I gave you that 500 meter freestyle. I would also maybe consider doing, stretching that out to a 700 meter warm-up, and, do like 200 meters of 200 meter freestyle, and then do the rest is one time you might focus on hand entry. So you might then rotation of the body, the feel for the water, do some sculls and some doggy paddle, get that focusing on that catch. People say, I hear a lot, it's not so much the catch that matters, it's the push or the pull through. Yes, but it's that catch that sets you right up for success. You haven't got a good catch, you got that follow through or the push is just going to be absolutely miserable. So you're focusing on all those things. I say that focusing on all those things, but go there with a particular thing of what you're trying to achieve. Also, to try and increase that stroke rate. See, that stroke rate 60, you could definitely increase that, and that's going to help. You don't want to increase it too fast, too quick, because there's chances are you're going to decrease the quality of the technique. But getting a metronome, one of those things, you just set it up, you put it in your swim cap, and it goes beep, beep, beep. You might set it for, so you're averaging 60 strokes per minute, you might set it for 63 strokes per minute. And you just, every time it goes beep, 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 your hand's entering the water. So that's another good way of doing it. But play around with those swim sets. technique, and speed, and strength, power, force that power. If you guys have any other, and try and stay relaxed in the water. It's so underrated being relaxed in the water. Now, if you go out, you do say 25 meters fast, 25 meters easy. Your 25 meters easy will probably be either the same pace or not too far off being the same pace as that 25 meter fast. It's just you've got that relaxed rhythm in the body. So stay relaxed and stay cool, stay classy. And if you guys have any other questions, jump on to the website trainsmooth.com. Send me through all your questions and we'll pump them out. Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, keep classy. Hooroo. I think I said too classy too often. Anyway, see you, YouTube.